Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Zoo School Live. We have a very special episode for you guys today. We are actually currently in our animal commissary. We'll just take a quick look around. You can see we have quite a lot of animals on those boards that need feeding today. And then these two wonderful ladies are actually volunteers who are diet docents and help us to prepare animal diets. So today we're going to do a little bit of a different zoo school. We're going to focus on the humans instead of the animals. But these two humans are incredibly important for keeping our animals happy and safe. They work every day to prepare lots of different foods and lots of different types of diets. We have quite a lot of produce hanging out right here that they've been busy preparing for our many animals. So we're going to focus a little bit on what their favorite parts of volunteering are, how long they've been around, and what they do every day. So we'll start. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about how long you've been volunteering here at the zoo.
Okay, my name is Barb Giangulio. I live in King of Prussia, and I'm in my 23rd year.
Wow, 23 years. That's amazing.
I started out in education. I was a volunteer keeper at one time because we used to be shorthanded a long time ago. And then I went to diets, and I found my love because I like to cook, and I love to prepare food for animals.
Awesome.
It makes me feel good about myself.
Well, we're happy to have you. And
I'm Kathy Bailey. I live in Skipback. I've been here going on my 5th year, and I also just love to cook, and I'm retired and needed something to do with my time, and I found my perfect niche for because I love to cook too. Love that chopping and mixing and the animals. Of course, it's the animals that are front and foremost.
yeah, we have quite a few of those, so we'll just take a quick peek. So these are our diet boards here. You can see we have all different types, all kind of lined out with what materials go in them and how much. So you guys work a couple times a week, and what does a typical day here as a diet docent look like for you?
Well, the very first thing that we do is get all the containers ready. We've been putting everything in these nice plastic containers with tight-fitting lids so that they don't fall off the shelves, they don't spill. The keepers can pack them up really easily to take them from exhibit to exhibit. And especially with the meat diets, it's really nice not to have everything spilling all over on top of each other. So that's the first thing we do.
And
I'll
then
tell you the second thing we do.
It's just get all of our equipment together so that we're ready to go, and we're ready to go. So,
and do you have a particular order that you guys do the diets in?
No, we always do the vegetable fruit diets first. The meat diet, we clean up, and then the meat diets are last.
So it looks like you guys are working on
We
veggie
have-
diets right now.
We have to prevent cross-contamination, so we have to be really careful.
All right. So, which animal would you guys say has the most complicated diet? And you can have different answers depending on what you guys each feel, but who has the most complicated diet?
the monkeys.
Monkeys?
Monkeys, I mean, you can see the list of ingredients, and everything has to be weighed. You have to give them a variety of different
These and those.
vegetables and fruits and greens, and they get grain.
They get boiled eggs too.
Boiled eggs.
They eat all the food that we eat. Primates are primates, and the diets are very similar.
Gotcha. So whose diet do we have here in front of you guys right now?
This
well,
is actually chicken.
Chickens.
Chicken diet. And funny, chickens are very complicated. They have their likes and their dislikes. They don't like carrots. They don't like sweet potatoes.
Beets.
And strawberries.
So do you guys, you've both been doing this a long time, do you kind of have it all memorized as far as some of their favorites, or do you still have to refer back a lot?
They change every day.
They change a lot.
And we try to change it up for them also, that they don't get bored. And wouldn't like to eat the same thing every single day too, so we do try to change up their diets a little bit, surprise them.
That's great.
They give us a pretty good selection.
Yeah,
So,
they do.
Like one day you give them about 5 ingredients, and the next day you can pick the other 5 that you didn't do the day before.
That's awesome. So how many diets, do you know how many diets you prepare in a day? Have you ever counted?
Have you ever counted? Endless. We
And-
lined up a lot of them here that
You can take a
see.
look.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have Rhea over here. There's bats. Oh, can we take a peek in the
You
bats?
may. Let me take the lid off and take all this lettuce out.
Wow, so the bats get a lot of food too.
They get these, they love romaine lettuce and they hang it up for them so they can hang on it and eat from it. But this is their, we call it bat pie, but it's kind of like a big fruit salad.
Ooh, that looks great.
Yeah.
So you guys have to chop all of this stuff up to specific sizes sometimes, and,
Oh, absolutely.
and you said you weigh everything out.
We weigh it before we chop it.
So we have our bat pie, that looks pretty delicious to me. We have some parrot salad, reptile salad. So this looks like education diets
This is
here.
education, yeah. And the other is the barn.
Gotcha. And you guys organize it all very, very nicely to
Yes.
make keepers' lives a lot easier so they can just grab and go, like you said. So you don't know exactly how many diets you make in a day, but it's quite a lot.
You actually have to stand out here and count all the animals on the board.
Yeah. So do you make diets for essentially every animal in the zoo every day?
Practically. Like Penny the alligator, she eats today, but she doesn't eat any other day of the week. The keepers kind of do the hoof stock. A lot of the grain is up in the barn because it's easier for them to just scoop it up there than carry it, do it here and carry it up.
But otherwise, pretty much everybody
Pretty
every day?
much Everybody, yeah.
So how long does it roughly take you guys to prep
4
them?
hours.
4 hours.
Yeah. When there's two.
When there's two
When
people.
there's two.
And you guys have been working through a lot of the crazy times, helping us when, it was hard to get volunteers in and we had to limit people. So we're super, super appreciative.
We were off for a few months.
Yeah,
but we came
unfortunately.
back. We were
Yeah,
happy
we're
to come
back.
back.
They're happy to be back. That's
Happy to
great.
be back.
Do you have a favorite diet to prepare, Barb?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yukon and Russet, the cougars, and you can see my cougar mask.
She's got her cougar mask on
mask.
today.
Yeah, cougars.
So I know we don't have their food out right now, but what do they eat typically?
It's beef, and it's called Nebraska brand. And we actually have two. We have a feline formula and we have canine formula. The canine, I believe, has less fat in it. So the jaguars and moose and Mateo, they're getting the feline, and then Yukon and Russet and the two otters are getting the canine.
So
it's
these
the
are
same, but it's just a fat content.
just a little bit different.
Mhm.
And so are these all lined up? They're going to be getting their proteins, their
They will be.
meats, like you said, since we separate those out to do
Yes.
after.
We clean up and then we do them.
Awesome. And do you have a favorite diet to prep?
Probably the monkeys I love.
The monkeys.
You just picture them with your little hands, and you know what you want them to do with their food size that they can handle.
And they're an important one. You guys mentioned trying to keep things a lot of variety. And, we cut up a lot of the food so that we can do scatter feeding and things like that too. So it's part of their enrichment. So this isn't just them making up the diets and handing it to them on a plate. A lot of times the Diet Prep prepares it so that it can be used in enrichment, which is very
The
important.
keepers will actually hold some things out to use for training.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So enrichment training and, of course, regular nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your favorite thing about being a Diet Prep volunteer? We'll start with Barb. Do you have a favorite thing? Can you nail it down to one thing?
It just makes me feel like I'm making a difference.
That's awesome. Is it a little different than, you said you both like to cook. Is it different than cooking for humans in any way?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're a little more picky than my human
We have
family
picky
is.
husbands, right? Picky we trade husband stories, yeah.
So they're a little pickier, huh?
Picky.
And then what's your favorite thing, Kathy, about being a diet docent?
Oh, just little perks that you get too. I mean, last week we had Jenny and Pickles stop by and to get a little snack from us and just say hello, and we'll get little perks like that once in a while, and then we're free to roam the zoo after we're finished our shift to see all the animals and the different changes throughout.
That's great. Awesome. And you guys both mentioned you like to cook. Is there a favorite meal you like to cook at home? Or you guys kind of like to cook in general?
Italian food.
Italian food?
Italian food, yeah.
So I guess you don't get to do a lot of that here for our animals.
Italian food and baking, that's what I like.
And baking?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any particular food.
Just in general, like to cook?
Right. Just
Whatever
like to
Chuck
cook.
eats.
My picky husband.
So where do we get some of our foods? We actually just got a produce order today. I'm going to kind of back over here so we can see. This is just a small amount of the produce that we go through.
That is decal produce.
So decal produce.
They give us all our lettuce.
Yeah, and we can actually poke our head over here. So this is kind of our fridge freezer area. You guys can see these really big boxes of romaine. Those are primarily for our giraffe feed. So our giraffe go through a whole lot of lettuce in a few days. I think this is for about 4 days worth of lettuce. So imagine that. So yeah, decal produce helps us out quite a lot. And then I think we get our grains from Ole Valley, if I'm correct. Could you show us some of our grain bins,
Sure.
maybe?
Here. Let's look at, oh, here's a sheep grain. Join the barn, see our sheep. We have sheep grain. And that's, now the one that we use an awful lot of, well, can't open it now, wild herbivore. Oh, wild herbivore is in,
So who eats this?
This is Joni the Peckery. This is wild herbivore. So we already have hers measured out.
Oh, great.
Yeah, she likes that. But
So on top of all the produce that you guys already kind of saw sitting out here, a lot of our animals get the grain diets, different kind of foods like that, and then of course the proteins for some of them as well. So what would you tell someone who might be interested in becoming a diet prep volunteer? Do you guys need help?
yes, we do. We really need help. You'll be trained. It's a lot of fun. You might get to work with one of us, or both of us. I feel like it's rewarding, educational. You learn so much about animals and diets. I mean, even like nutrition, like with us. It's like, hey, I didn't know. You find out facts about food that you didn't know, that I didn't get from the Food Network. But everything on the boards is all approved by our doctor, vet.
Yeah, our veterinarian staff. So
Michelle Goodman.
keepers and vet staff, and then of course eventually diet docents, they do have to know a whole lot about all the different foods they're preparing, but these two ladies are always willing to teach everyone what
And
they
it's
know.
fun. We do have a good time here. We laugh and we talk and we share stories. It's just a good camaraderie. Everyone gets along so well. The keepers come in and out. They have stories. So it is it's just a nice atmosphere to be in.
That's great. And if anyone watching is interested, you can actually find our application for volunteering, both as a diet docent or as any other volunteer, on our website. Now, I do believe that there is a commitment requirement for diet docents because this is an integral part of our care here at the zoo. We could not do this without their help. We do require, I believe it is 2 days out of a month that there's a commitment. So you are welcome to check that out on the website. And just a reminder to those of you watching, if you have any questions for our lovely diet docents today, now's the chance to put those in the comments and we can read those off to them. And we'll take a look here. Is there any other diet stuff particularly you want to share? Things that you've learned or surprises or any of your favorite diets you want to show off today?
Well, the boards, once you learn, it's kind of like a cookbook, and each animal is a recipe. So if you're baking a cake and you're following a recipe, you see with the fruit bats, it tells you exactly how much of each thing you make. So it's kind of like following a recipe. And every animal has their own.
And it might seem a little intimidating at first, but I'm sure it definitely gets easier as you go.
And they do change.
We try to keep things up to date for all of our animals.
So here's our chicken
Happy
salad.
chickens right now.
Yeah, I'll make some chicken. We're making chicken salad. We try to make it beautiful for them.
Yeah, and then they jump in it and mess it all up.
Right, and then Ian comes and throws it on the ground. You know, so it's
But they will actually go up to this and start picking at it.
The
Yeah.
presentation is important too,
That's
right?
presentation. Yes.
In fact, Ian said that sometimes he brings it up there, and if there's guests up there, they get the biggest kick out of it. Oh, what's that?
Yeah, I love seeing when diets are offered in fun and exciting and beautiful ways too. The chickens deserve a nice gourmet platter.
Yeah.
Within 5 seconds, this will not look like it. Not at all.
I think that's a beautiful chicken salad. Do you guys ever get to go and watch the animals eat
yes.
some of their diets?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, we do. You know, if we get done in time and somebody says, "Oh, come on, we're going to,"
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fun to do.
Do you either of you have a favorite animal that's different from your favorite animal diet to prepare? Or is yours still the cougars?
Cougars.
I love the jaguars.
The jaguars?
The jags are just so amazing. They're just beautiful animals.
So we had Sydney chimed in and said she's so grateful for our diet docents. I think that is echoed by all of our staff here. Margaret would like to know, do you ever make special diets for an animal's birthday?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. They actually make freezer cakes and things with. They'll get a container filled with water, and they'll put, like, if it's a herbivore, they'll put fruit and veggies in it and freeze it, and then they'll put it outside, and the animal can, you know.
That's
But,
super fun.
For the carnivores, they get meat in there.
So not quite a real birthday cake, but
No,
an
it's not
animal
called-
cake.
An animal.
Yeah, it's an animal cake.
An animal cake.
An animal cake. Oh, they did a birthday one for a giraffe a couple years ago.
Did they?
It was huge.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know if he ate it. I think he ate it, but I don't know if he ate it, but it was in there. It was big.
That's awesome.
Took
Carl,
up the freezer.
Carla would like to know, and I think you guys covered this, but you could just reiterate. Are there any variations to their diets? Do they always get the same thing every day, or does it change?
It changes every day. We try to change it every day so that it's a little different for them, a little more enrichment.
That's awesome. So Stephanie would like to know, how old do you have to be a diet docent? 18 is the minimum age for that. Now, it is a little younger for other volunteer positions at the zoo, but I'm assuming because we are handling food and also some sharp objects and things like that, we want to make sure we have a little bit of an older. So if you are interested, again, you can check out our website, check out the volunteering, get involved page, and you must be 18 and be able to commit 2 days of a month. And I believe right now we need help on Tuesdays. Am I correct?
Yeah, we do.
Awesome. All right, that looks like all of our questions for today. Thank you so much, ladies. It has been very nice sharing the spotlight with you. And we, of course, as I speak for everyone at Elmwood Park Zoo, and we could not do it without you. So we hope that you'll stick around, and we're so glad that you guys have been able to join us today. Anything else you'd like to share before we sign off?
We're happy to do this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And kind of like being on the Food Network.
Right, yeah. Now you guys are Food Network, Animal Food Network stars, right?
Exactly.
All right, guys, thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing with us today.
Have a great day.
If anyone has questions that we didn't get to or that you want to add in, please feel free to drop those in the comments. And we hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope your food looks as good as this chicken salad does right now.